I need to get my story straight. My friends are in the bathroom getting higher than the Empire State. Hi. I need a haircut so bad. How's it going? I want to show y'all a new little toy I got today. And show you some cute little stuff I got, which y'all might like. So let's play a little and clean a little. How's that? Well, I'm trying to keep my head up. How's that sound? Yeah? Trying to keep my head above water today. How are y'all doing today? Good? Alright. So look. The other day, I found this little toy on TikTok shop. Alright? And I was like, ooh. And I was all excited, right? So I was like, So I bought it. I shouldn't have, but I did. So I'm gonna trim up my sides. Let me turn on my iron. And let me put it in the little TikTok shop thing so that you can like see it. Okay. I got that in the TikTok shop, okay? Listen, it's so great. And it's so easy. I thought that it's not going to be that easy to use. I saw somebody else on the TikTok shop use it, and I was like, it is not going to be that easy. It is that easy. Okay? It so is. Okay? And look what I made. I made like a little flappy strappy. And I thought these would be cute little keychains. Just watch how easy. Y'all, I was so tickled. Okay? So let me sew these edges. And then I'm gonna try and make like a fancy one. I'm gonna try to make a really fancy one. How's y'all's day going? My day is going. It's going. It's going. It's been a little bit of a rough one so far. But slowly but surely, I've kept my head above water, you know? But it really, the tool really does work amazing. So I'm going to show y'all how great it works. Let's iron these sides. And I'll tell you what piece I measured and all that stuff. How's that sound? Yeah? Alright. So I just took like a scrap piece of fabric. And we'll see about we're going to make a keychain. Okay? Alexa, pause. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm hemming up my side pieces. Ain't that funny? I'm hemming up my side pieces. I'm hemming up these side pieces and I'm going to just do a straight stitch on the side. And like I said, I just took a little spare piece of fabric and I'm just gonna do a straight stitch down the side just to make it like kind of nice and neat. I'm just ironing it so that I can get that straight stitch really well. Or get that even piece really well. I'm going to see about making like a little keychain with the grommet maker. Because listen, if you had problems putting in a grommet or not knowing how to put grommets in, that was me. Or thinking that they're not as easy as you think, this little tooly jobby thing is the tool for you. Okay? It is super easy. It comes with a cajillion grommets, so you can like grommet the world. Alright, so look. I took my little piece of fabric and I'm going to just dig straight stitch all the way down. Okay? First. Just to get a nice edge. And if you have a serger, you might want to like serge it. But just to get like a little straight, quick stitch all the way down. Alright. So that you have a nice, little even, nice piece of hemmed fabric. Right? Like so. We have your edges nice. Alright, now look. I'm going to bring edge to edge. Okay? And I'm going to make sure that my edges kind of match. And if they don't, and I know this seems so crazy because I'm not really the best of sewers or whatever, I'm going to open up my thing. I'm going to cut it like to where they match up. And then I'm going to resew it. So just bear with me. Because this is the first time I'm doing the whole, like, from start to finish keychain thing. Alright. I think that'll be fine now. I think that's right, though. I don't want to cut it and then it not be accurate. I'm going to resew that, okay? Alright. Alright. Look, sewing with me is like sewing with a toddler. You never know the sewing lesson you're going to get. Alright. And I'm going to iron it again. And then do that little straight stitch again. And then we're going to see where we're at. We might need to use another piece of fabric, but that's okay. Alright. There we go. Let's make sure we match up. Alright, you ready? Let's do this again. I'm going to do a straight stitch. All the way down, just... Okay. Now the little grommet maker thingamajiggy comes with easy peasy instructions. Like the easiest of instructions. So don't freak out if you don't like have it down pat. Okay? It comes with a jumbo bag like this and a jumbo bag like this. It's silver and gold. And it comes with them separated, which is even better. So it comes with the girl parts and your boy parts. Okay? And the wonderful, listen, this is the best part about it. It comes with it magnetized. So you put your piece down and it's magnetized in the machine. Okay? So you put your girl part down, you put your boy part in, and it's magnetized in there. To where, you know how like in snap machines, if you put your snaps in, it's not like that? Okay. Then you're going to take whatever piece of fabric you did your little hooey on, and I'm going to trim this a little bit because I think that's too long. Okay. And then you're going to put your piece of fabric in. Now this is 2 pieces of fabric in between. I don't have any hole cut or anything like that. All right, you're going to put your piece of fabric in between. And you're just going to sandwich it. And you're going to push. And you really don't need a lot of pressure. I'm using one hand. Okay. And then you're going to take it out. And it should have cut through. It did. I'm going to push it through one more time. Like, squeeze it one more time just to make sure I got it. Oh, there we go. I felt it go through that time. Okay. And then here is your cloth. Cut your cloth for you. Look. And then you've got to like straighten out your little hole just a little bit. Straighten out your fabric, straighten out your hole. And look. And trim any little like pieces of fabric that and you can make. Now listen, don't judge me by like the fabric, but look how easy putting the grommet was. Now look, I didn't push up very hard on that one. Let me show you this one. Ready? I didn't push hard because I was nervous. I got nervous with you. Let me show you again. I really did get nervous. I get so nervous because I don't want to fuck up. I don't know if I can say fuck up. Well, I get nervous because I'm going to fuck up, but watch. I'm not going to sew it or anything. I'm just going to do it. Okay. So I made like 10 of these last night. I'm going to go through all my grommets before I even have anything to make. I'm telling you. It's going to be wild. I have so many little circular pieces of stuff. All over the place I have them. Let me make sure that went through. Did that go through? Yeah. And then you just have to pull tight right there. It cuts all your fabric for you. You don't have to cut anything. You don't have to do anything. You just, and I have to trim the edges, but let me tell you how easy these are. I must have put like 50 grommets on things. Look, I must have made about 100 of these little things the other night. Literally, you can make a bunch. They only come in this size. This is the only size that this one came with. But it's really easy to use. It's not hard to use at all. You can, like, grommet the world. You can make little bags. You can make little keychains. You can make little, like, purse straps. I mean, you can make all kind of stuff. Shower curtain holders. You can make, I mean, the list is endless, but the thing that I loved about this is they put the girl and the boy parts in different bags, which that makes me super happy. So you have girl They have the girl and the boy parts in different bags. That I loved. I like that you have 2 different colors. And they give you a lot. So if, I don't know, you make like 500 of them, you have enough to play with and to actually make stuff. They're very durable and they're very like sturdy. I mean, there's no like, once you do it right, there's no pulling it apart. I mean, you've got it together. If you're not doing it right or you're kind of nervous, there's a lot. But I mean, like, I really can like pull kind of hard. The other thing is that the tool isn't hard to use, and I like that it's magnetic. If you're using the snap tool isn't magnetic, especially if you're using plastic snaps. And they give you a list of like projects you can do. Like you can do shower curtains, bags, keychains, dog leashes, dog collars, belts. They give you like a list of projects you can do, and then online it gives you like a list of little projects you can do. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this, and it's on sale. So it did take a little bit of time to get here. That's the only negative thing that I had to say, is it does take you a little bit of time to get here, but other than that, it doesn't. I don't have anything else like that would be a negative piece, but they're really great. And so it might be something you want to add to your little sewing, your sewing arsenal. This is really great, and the grip is great. So that's something you might want to look at it. Listen, I literally grommeted everything the other night. I grommeted till I vomited. But that's something that you might want to put in your cart. If you don't want to get it, still, if you put it in your cart, it helps me out. So if everybody just goes and puts it in their cart, even if you don't buy it, it helps me. So that would be a big help. But it's pinned in the bottom below, and that helps. All right, back to cleaning, because that's what we're doing, is cleaning today. And then I wanted to show you the bias tapes things too, but I don't know if I have those in my showcase. But if I don't, I'm going to put them in there and show them to you, because the bias tapes are amazing. And I really think that y'all would like, I think that y'all would really like those if you used them. So I'm going to show them to you so that you, I'm going to put them in my showcase so that you can see them, and I'm going to show you how we use them. I'm okay. I'm okay. Thanks for asking. I'm okay. I'm making it. All right, let me take that off the pinned comments, and I'm going to show you the bias tape thing that I have, okay? Thank you for asking, by the way. All right. Let's see. Let me go find it. Products. Let me find it. I don't know where. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to find my little add product thing. And, okay, there we go. All right, if you have trouble making bias tapes and you don't know, or you don't know how to use these, I'm going to show you these. But I'm going to move you and I'm going to show you up close. Let me get a piece of fabric and let me get mine. And I'm going to show you because these are fantastic. Okay. I'm going to show you with a little piece, like a little skinny piece. I'm missing my green one. I'm sure once I clean out my room, I'll find them, okay? These are the bias tape makers. They're pinned on there. You will love these. All right, and I'm going to flip you around and show you how they work, okay? All right. Let's see. Flip. All right. You're going to take your fabric and put it upside down. And you're going to... Okay, let me tell you this. This is how I make it work. This might not be how it works. This is how I make it work. So let me just preface that to you. All right, you're going to feed it through until it starts coming through the tip of the dip. Okay? And you can see once it starts coming through, it actually makes the little bias tape part. Okay? Now we're going to move over here. All right. And what you're going to do is you're going to start feeding it until it goes through. You're going to go right up to your machine. You're going to flatten it down. You're going to go to your needle. And you're going to make sure that you're under, like, your needle housing. And you're going to put your tape maker right up to your presser foot. And then you're going to start feeding it. Okay, so the rest of it is like a tail behind it, okay? And then you're going to start sewing. And make sure it's feeding through. And make sure it's... There we go. And I'll just keep pulling it through that tape maker. And you gotta make sure that it's catching the right way. If it's not, you gotta stop and fix it. I'm not stopping and fixing it. I'm just gonna let it go through for a second. Just so that I can show you what it does. Okay. Now look, that's why you sew slow, much slower than I do. I sew like a lunatic. Okay. But look. It sews all even. And they have them in all different sizes. Let me get this out from under here and I'm going to show you. Make sure I got this. I'm going to show you again. I'll show you with like a different piece of fabric. I'll show you a bigger piece. So this is like a monster piece of fabric. And they have a big fatty. So you're going to put it in. You're going to start to feed it through as best as you can. I feel like the fatties are a little bit harder, so I take a needle and I start to grab it. I'll just try and make sure that I got it. And sometimes it takes a little bit, so don't get discouraged. we go. And as soon as it starts coming out that tip, you want to grab it. Mine's almost through. And you want to try and keep it as straight as possible. So you want to try and keep it as best as you can. And mine is right there. Of course, it's going to give me trouble since I'm trying to get it. Of course, it's going to give me as much trouble as it's humanly possible because I'm trying to show y'all, but goodness gracious. It's literally right there. Of course, I'm going to pull the string. And if anybody has like a secret to this, you can feel free to share it. There we go. Okay. And I'll start to pull it out and like try and get it out and working through. And then I'll pull it back and forth a few times to get it like working and get it folded in the right way. And that's just for my own sanity. Okay. And I get it where it needs to be. You can also iron it the way you want it. Like if you want it to be flattened out before you start sewing, I like it to be like this when I start sewing. Now I think this one is just a little bit too, this piece of fabric is too big for this. See how it kind of buckles right there? So I think this piece of fabric is too big to be biased. That's my opinion. It is. See how it kind of goes up a little bit, but not there? So that's just me. I think it's too big. I think we need a different piece of fabric. Or you might need to cut it down. Let's see if we can find a little bitty smaller piece. For instance, I make little grocery bag holders with this little crawfish material. So let me cut this for you, okay? And I'm going to show you. Let me cut this. And it's great to have a matching handle that matches the exact fabric of the bag. So I just take it and I run it through there. And as it starts to come through, I just start making sure that it goes through, making sure that it's straightened out. And right when I get like the tip like that, I'm going to go right over here. And I'm going to, a lot of people will press it first. I really should, but I don't. I'm going to make sure it's under my feed dogs. Because if it's not under your feed dogs, it's not going to pull. And then you're just going to start going. Make sure it's lined up with your presser foot. So this is something that you can use to make a little handle. With the corresponding fabric. So it's just something that you can have. These little bias tape makers, they come 5 to a kit. I don't have my green one. I can't find it. It's somewhere in this great abyss. But if you want these, they're fantastic. I really like them now that I know how to use them. Now that I know how to use them, I really love them. And I'm still learning every day. But definitely add them to your basket or your cart. And they help a lot. So that's something you might want to look at if you're looking for a last minute Christmas gift for yourself. They definitely won't get here before Christmas. Will not, for sure. But it's just something to think about for you to make your sewing journey easier. Just something like that. So, but I love them because they make the bias tape easy, and they make little handles or loops or whatever you need if you're making like a little chapstick case or camera case or whatever. They make it super, super easy. So, I hope that helps. Hope that helps. All right. Any questions on those two items or anything like that? Or if you want to see another sewing item, let me know. All right, I'm going to unpin that. And then let me know if you want any other things. I have a couple of sewing items. Not that many in there, but I have a couple of sewing items in my showcase. All right, we're going to continue cleaning a little bit. Actually, you want to go outside? It's such a pretty day. Y'all want to go outside for a little bit? Let's go outside. Just for a hot little minute. And then we'll come back in and maybe we'll clean, or maybe we won't. Today's a day I'm giving myself a little bit of grace. Let me get my shoes. I'm Sleeping Beauty in here. You snore. Hold on now. Get my shoes. Okay. Also, listen. If y'all haven't gotten this little gorgeous thing, that's on sale right now, and that is the greatest thing you've ever bought in your life. That's the best hot glue gun you'll ever buy in your fucking life. For real, for real. I ain't even gonna lie. Okay. Today's been a very, very roller coastery day. It hasn't been the best, hasn't been the worst. That's for sure. It hasn't been it is unpinned, I thought. It's not unpinned? It's not showing pinned on my end. Okay. I've given myself a lot of grace today. I woke up this morning and I had like an agenda. Like I said, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to keep myself busy. And I'm going to, go here and I'm going to go there. And I'm going to, do all these things. And I'm going to be okay. And I'm not going to cry. And I'm not going to be sad. And I'm not going to, and I had the best intentions. I really had the best intentions. And that did not work. It didn't. I fell apart. Today has been a really hard birthday for him. Like, it's been a really hard one. So I struggled a lot today, a lot more today than I did any other birthday. Which was hard for me. I don't know. It was like a weird birthday that I struggled. Maybe because I'm struggling with so many other things. That's why I struggled. So I had the best intentions for today, but I also gave myself grace for not accomplishing those things. Like, I also gave myself grace for, not, like, I gave myself grace if I cried. I gave myself grace if, I didn't, like, if I did stay on the couch a little bit longer. I gave myself grace if, I got upset for a little while. I gave myself grace if I didn't want to do X, Y, Z. I did. I gave myself a lot of patience. Then in previous years, I would have been, like, super hard on myself. And I found that I, like, longed for him more, like in a much more like melancholy way this year. Like, I miss him all the time, but like I longed for him more this year than any other year, if that makes sense. I don't know. I guess that's just look, I guess that's just grief. It's just weird. But then other times I was, I was okay, and I was all right, and we did our balloons this morning, and we said our rosary, and we spent time as a family, and we're going to have family game night tonight. And, we were thinking about telling y'all what we decided to do instead of the nursery. And, there's a lot that went into it. But at the same time, it's like, today was like a really, I don't know, today was just a heavier day than other birthdays for him. Does that make sense? I guess that's the best way to explain it. I don't know. It's the best way to explain it for me. So. But, I mean, I'm working on it. Slowly but surely. So, but I do want to, tonight, much later tonight, I'm probably going to tell you about the, going forward, what we have. And we're also going to have a very important math lesson. Also, How many fucking pages are y'all gonna fucking start about me? Like, good God. In the past, 3 days, there have been, 4 pages start up about me. Like, Jesus Christ. What's up, Melanie? How are you? Although the post today was a little bit below the fucking belt. I will have to say, the post today was a fucking lot below the belt. On several of the fucking pages. Oh, good. I see your boy's doing really good. But trust me, we're going to talk about that tonight. Not Melanie. I'm talking about the below the fucking belt post. I was way the fuck below the belt. But y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all never have. So. But we're going to talk about that too. But that'll be later, much later tonight. Oh my goodness. But, and I put some pictures I never put out there. I think I put 1 or 2 that I never put out there before. And that was nice to kind of put those out there today. Lucas with his Lala. And Kat just got off of work. She's inside. I spent most of my morning at the grave. Spending time with him. And, just being with him, celebrating with him. Just, being as close to him as I can. Because I can't be close to him. Because, he's fucking dead, so. That's as close to him as I got. So. I spent most of my morning there. But I'm sure he's glad that, that I had to go, because, man, I talked his ear off this morning. I'm sure I talked his ear off this morning. I'm sure he was like, good Lord, Mom, take a breath. So, usually I just go and say my rosary and just leave, and I do that 2-3 times a week. But today I was just chatty fucking Kathy boy. I must have paced in front of that grave until I ran a hole in the cement. So it was just a talkative day, I guess. He was probably done with me. He's probably like, Mom, it's enough. So I'm sure he's glad Kat's home from work and I had to leave. So because she didn't really go up there that much. She didn't really like it there that much. I'll go sit there for hours on end, 3, 4, 5 times a week. If I drive by there, I go in. The gate's open, I go. Even if the gates aren't open, I still go. There's a hole in the fence in the back. And listen, I know some of you haters really fucking hate me, but please don't take that away from me. I know that some of you really fucking hate me, but please don't take that away from me. Please don't take access from my boy away from me. I know that you are fucking bitter to me, but please don't take that away from me. So, today's just been a really, really wild day. Like a wild fucking day, so. And, we're gonna change up Mondays to Math Mondays. where we do some math help, math tutor, and a couple of people asked for some math help. So we're gonna change Mondays to math Mondays. Yeah, today's my little boy's birthday. My son that died. Today's his birthday. So it's just a hard day. Just a struggle day. Thanks, Pope. That means a lot. So it's just a rough day. I just gotta make it through it. Got about less than 12 hours. Just gotta hang in there, you know? So I remember when he was born, y'all, listen, I'll tell you this funny story. I've told it before. I think I've told it before. If not, I'm going to tell y'all now. So when Jude was born, we were so nervous. We were scared to death. We were like, holy shit, we're about to be moms. Like, oh my God. And not only that, but our birth mom was about to be rushed into emergency throat fucking surgery. Her parathyroids needed to be removed, 2 of them. So we're like, holy fucking shit. And she was like our daughter. Like, we took care of her just as much as we were getting ready to be moms. So like, and she was our responsibility. So we were like freaking the fuck out. Because in addition, they weren't sure if they were just going to take her into surgery and leave Jude in there, or take Jude and then rush her into surgery, or like, I mean, there were so many balls in the air at this moment that everything was just up in the air when he was born, right? And we were responsible for her. Even though she was an adult and could make all of her own decisions, she was still in our care. Like, she was still in our home, in our care. Like, we still took care of her. And all of her family was in California, like, and she was in a place where she didn't know, like, there was just a lot of balls in the air. So we were waiting for the doctor to come in and tell us what was going on with her parathyroids, as well as what they were going to decide to do with the baby, because she was only 37 weeks. And we were freaking out. We were wondering what's going on. We were, like, trying to figure everything out. And I, all of a sudden, got sick. I mean, like, sick as a fucking dog. My stomach was just, like, in knots. I mean, like, I was, like, wrangled. And I told Kat, I said, I'm nauseated. Like, I am sick. And she said, what you mean? I said, I'm going to throw up. I said, I'm either going to throw up or shit on myself. And she goes, well, what you mean? And I said, I got to go in the hallway. I think I have gas real bad. So my entire family, I mean, entire family, like 20 fucking people, okay, was in the hospital room with our birth mom, okay, waiting to see whether or not we were about to go into labor, or like whether or not they were about to take Jude or not, wondering how she was, because we were all very close with her. I mean, like I said, she was like our family. So like 20 fucking people were in this room waiting to find out what's going on, right? We're waiting on the doctor to come in and tell us what's going on. And I told Kat, I said, I'm going to step out in the hallway because my stomach is so upset. And she goes, okay, baby, go. So, and here comes the doctor down the hallway. So I step out in the hallway. I said, Doc, I'll be in just a second. And he goes, okay, no problem. And he steps in the room. And y'all, okay, listen, this is like too much information, but you've got to understand what happened. And I let out the longest, smelliest, I mean like deadliest fart you have ever smelled. It smelled like something was dead inside my ass, okay? Like, It was the most disgusting thing you've ever smelled in your life. I mean, I was like sick. Like sick. It smelled like I was sick. You ever like smell like you're sick? So, I mean, I was sick. So I let out like, it had to have been a minute long fart. I'm not kidding you. It was like, oh, I was so nauseated. It was so gross. So I'm out in the hallway and I'm getting ready to go back in the room, and all of a sudden the door opens and starts piling out my family. And I'm like, wait, where are y'all going? And they're like, oh, well, the doctor said come outside because they're about to check her. And I'm like, no. And all of my family starts piling out in the hallway, which smells literally no short of like raw sewage, egg, gas, dead animal. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And they opened the door. My family 20 fucking people start piling out into this plume of disgusting. The smell starts going, and they're like, Ashley, what is, I'm like, y'all shut up, my stomach. And now my stomach is getting more upset because I'm in a nervous wreck because I think that they're gonna smell my ass. Oh my God, I was so embarrassed. I am now nauseated as fuck. I am so a mess. And then all of a sudden I hear the doctor say, what is that smell? Is that you? Oh my God. And I hear our baby mama go, Ashley, was that you? And I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad. This is so bad. So the doctor goes, well, you can come in, but don't bring any more of that. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. He goes, well, you're going to have to come in here and sign papers, but seriously, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. Like, please I'm not okay. So I go into the room, and he goes, well, we're going to go ahead and take the baby. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, and then we're going to rush her into surgery and take her parathyroids. I'm like, okay. And he goes, so who's going to be in the delivery room, you or your wife? And I'm like, oh no, we can't both be in there. Because that was like our birthing plan. Like we were both supposed to be in there. And they're like, well, because she's an emergency C-section and because she's going in emergency surgery right after, only one of you can be in there. And Kat was like, please let her be in there. I don't want to be in there. And I'm like, okay, me. And the doctor goes, listen, are you going to be okay? Because I don't know what's wrong, but something is definitely gross inside you. I'm like, I promise I'm going to be fine. I promise. So the whole time, okay, so I'm like, let me go to the bathroom first. So I go to the bathroom. I deal with myself. I'm like sick. I'm nauseated. I'm so sick. I don't know if it was just my nerves or what, but I am like gross to the max, sick as a dog. We go into the delivery room. They put the little, like, curtain thing so you can't see, like, below the curtain, right, of her, like, bottom area. And they're getting ready to do her C-section. And they give her her epidural, whatever. They do whatever they need to do. And then all of a sudden, the most disgusting. Y'all, when I tell you, this smell was like a smell you just don't forget in your life. This smell started like to fill the room, and I'm like, oh my God. So I start smelling it, and I'm thinking, did I like shit myself and not realize it? What the fuck is that smell? Well, I didn't say anything out loud because I thought, if that's me and I shit myself and I just didn't even know it, or if that's me and listen, I bathe 3 times a day. I bathe in the morning when I wake up, I bathe when I come home from school, and I bathe before I go to bed. So I was like, oh my God, if that's me and nobody told me, like, we have a problem. So I'm like looking around, and like nobody else is even fazed by this smell. Like the doctors are just steady working, and the nurses are steady working, and so nobody's fazed by the smell. So I'm thinking, maybe I'm just hallucinating. Maybe it's me. And so our birth mom goes, Ashley, can you come here? And I'm like, yeah, baby, I'm right here. And she goes, no, like, come here. And so I'm like, okay. So I lean into her and I'm like, what, honey? And she goes, is that smell you? Did you fart? And I'm like, no, I didn't fart. I'm like, what is that smell? She goes, I don't know. What is that? And I'm like, we're talking about the smell. And the doctor goes, everything okay? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, mom goes, yeah, I just think that she farted again. You don't smell that? And he goes, oh no, that's you. That's your flesh. Y'all, the smell was her flesh burning because they lasered her open. It was like they laser opened her stomach and it was her burning flesh, and that's what we smelled. It was so fucking awful. We were about to throw up. It was so bad. I was like, oh my God. Y'all should have warned someone. They're like, oh, here you go. And they gave her like a little towel or something, or I don't know, like a little piece of gauze or something to put. And it had like lavender. And I'm like, can I have one of those? And they're like, oh, you're fine. I'm like, I'm about to fucking throw up. It was so horrendous. And all the little doctors, they like had little lavender masks. And I mean, like, nobody smelled this horrendous smell but me. It was absolutely awful. And then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, so everybody good? I'm like, yeah, we're good. And they're like, well, this guy's really good. He's got 10 fingers, 10 toes, and 2 teeth. And they held up Jude, and there he was. 10 fingers, 10 toes, and 2 teeth. He was perfect. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. He was perfect. Never in my wildest dreams did I think 6 months later he'd be gone. Life is so unfair, you know. But on that day, on this day, he was perfect. 10 fingers, 10 toes, 2 teeth. He was perfect. They called him the Hulk because he had big old green spots on him. Mongolian spots. They called him the Hulk. And he was just beautiful, you know? And then the lullaby played all throughout the hospital. And then we went to the nursery. And then I ended up getting really sick. I started throwing up over and over and over again to where I had to be sent home because I was really sick. And they put Jude in the NICU. And our birth mom came out of surgery 4.5 hours later. It was, God, that was so scary. I know. And I went home for the night. I had to. They sent me home because I was so sick. And Kat got to feed him in the middle of the night. I got to see him and feed him and bathe him the next day. And it was remarkable. It was incredible. I couldn't believe we were moms. I couldn't believe it. It was like every prayer we had ever prayed came true in one little bitty moment. That baby changed my life. You know, he changed my whole life. He changed everything about the course of my life. Every single thing. I wouldn't change 1 minute of it. Nothing. So, that's where I'm at right now. Today's just a really somber day. I miss him a lot more than, or I long for him a lot more than what I usually do, you know? It's just a hard day. So, I'm going to get off. I'm not in a great headspace right now, and I'm just sad as fuck. So, I'm going to get off right now and try and get myself together, and I'll come back later. We're going to do a math lesson later, but it's more for y'all than it is for anything. So, let me get myself together. Because I'm not in a good headspace. Alright? Alright. Bye, y'all. Sorry. I just